Take a moment to settle into stillness. Allow your body to find a comfortable position, your breath to soften, and your awareness to gently turn inward. As you arrive in this moment, begin to sense the quiet brilliance at the center of your being. In Divine Audacity, we are reminded that spiritual power is not something distant or reserved for a select few. It is the essence of who we are, the light we carry, the wisdom we express, and the love we embody. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more present, more open, more willing to recognize your own divine nature. This is the audacity the book speaks of, the courage to acknowledge your inner light without hesitation, without apology. Let your breath be a doorway. Let your stillness be a sanctuary. Let your awareness expand gently, as if you are remembering something ancient and true. In this space, you are invited to explore the spiritual powers that live within you. Powers of faith, strength, love, imagination, understanding, will, and life. These are not abstract ideas. They are living energies, always available, always expressing through you. As you continue to breathe, allow yourself to rest in the knowing that you are inherently whole, inherently wise, inherently luminous. You are not seeking something outside yourself. You are awakening to what has always been within. Let this meditation be an act of divine audacity, a bold willingness to shine, to know, to be. When you are ready, allow this awareness to guide you deeper into the practice ahead. Assuming a familiar posture, supportive of meditation, I focus my attention on the splendid order in my body temple. Bone, muscle, skin, vortexes of nerves, and energy, all organized for physical vitality and strength. Breath flowing in and out. Heart beating rhythmically, steadily, faithfully. I celebrate divine order. Concentrating my attention within my body, behind my navel, I activate my body's center for order. I shine the verdant green light of order through my digestive organs and throughout the integrated, linked, and well-ordered systems in my body. Order is my name and my nature. I am the power of order by which I connect with my innate sense of direction. I naturally attune to the magnificent source, the one mind, from which all ideas flow. I catch divine ideas and bring them into manifestation by the power of order. I am the adjusting power of order. Easily sensing where to place my attention, adjust my mindset, and correct my course of action. I am the evolving power of order. Awakened to the ever unfolding consciousness, I incorporate the best of my past into my present and reach naturally toward a fuller and more enlightened future. By the power of order, I follow the clear path. I go through the open door. I choose an orderly course of thought and action. I bring about order moment by moment, choice by choice. Through my breath, I sense the power of this present moment. I breathe intentionally, fully, a whole body breath, energizing my entire body. I breathe this way for several minutes until I sense the concentration of spiritual power in my throat chakra. The root of the tongue, or the throat chakra, is the seat of spiritual power. I bathe this area with the color of bright purple, a healing stream of light. I am the power of concentration, self-mastery, and spiritual authority. My source of power is divine power. By my divine nature, I cannot be powerless or ill. I'm not in the world to cower in the presence of others' power. I release any hesitancy to shine the full light of spiritual awareness in the world. All power is mine in heaven and on earth, in spiritual as well as material aspects of life. By spiritual power, I concentrate on shining the light of love, life, wisdom, and all spiritual powers into my life and into the world. I am master of my thoughts, words, and actions. I master myself, respect myself, and hold myself accountable. by spiritual power. I am a presence in whose presence other people awaken to their divine identity. I concentrate attention at the lowest point of my spine, the site of a cluster of nerve cells directing elimination of bodily waste. I shine earth tone light throughout my lower pelvis containing organs of elimination. Expanding the reach of the light, I radiate light into my abdominal cavity, containing digestive organs, liver, and kidneys. And into my lungs. I expand to the borders of my body. Where my skin is the largest organ of elimination. I bless and appreciate my body's natural capacity to release chemicals that would harm my health if accumulated and never eliminated. I bless and appreciate my mental capacity to release the past. To drop unhealthy patterns of behavior. To forgive. And to free myself from untrue assumptions and beliefs that disempower me. I celebrate my spiritual release ability. I'm not an only human. I'm not limited by my age. Ethnicity, education, or any human factor. I cannot be weak or unworthy. I release my best human understanding about myself, God, others, and life itself so that I am open to new insights. I release past judgments and condemnations of myself and others. I cleanse from my mind ridiculous ideas of lack and limitation. Release is my spiritual name and nature. I naturally and effortlessly release wasteful thoughts of unworthiness and only human limitation. With every breath, I release the moment past that I might be wholeheartedly present now. As you gently return from this meditation, notice the steady light within you. Let your breath anchor the clarity and calm you've awakened. Remember that the power you touched here is not temporary. It's the truth of who you are. Carry this quiet boldness into the rest of your day, allowing your inner wisdom and compassion to guide your steps. When you're ready, open your eyes, bringing your renewed presence with you.
Oh my gosh, you're making me do.
It's fine.
Everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Hamilton. Welcome to everybody who's here in the sanctuary. Welcome to those who are online. We're happy you're spending Mother's Day with us today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and those who have mothered, even if you weren't a natural birth mother. So, my name is Marcia Daly. I'm your presider for today. And as we have been trying on for size these phrases to help us explain what unity is, you're invited to explore at your own pace, to grow in your own way, and to discover a deeper connection with yourself, with others, and with life itself within this welcoming and inclusive community. So now we begin with our first set of songs, and Emilia will take us away with Holy, Holy Way.
It's Beckwith. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me share the good that overflows. Let me share the good that overflows. Oh, let my stance rebuild the path of peace. Let my stance rebuild the path of peace. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. All right. Now our next song is I Give Myself Permission by Karen Drucker. I give myself permission. I give myself permission. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not in just some of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. Wow, I'm just surprised that it ended right on time. All right. So this is a beautiful song by the great Mr. Michael Goth, Reverend Michael Goth, and it's Help Me to Believe. Help me to believe I am whole. Help me to believe all is well. Help me to believe I am more than I can see. Help me to believe I am whole. Help me to believe all is well. Help me to believe I am more than I can see. You are my life. You are my light. You are the love that moves in me. Help me to see, help me to be the me that I know you know I can be. Help me to believe all is well. Help me to believe I am. Help me to believe I am more than I can see.
Join with me in consciousness as I breathe into this truth. I know that Spirit, the infinite, is everywhere present. It is who I am. And I know that as I recognize this truth, anything is possible. As I realize this truth, I know that love is right here where I am. And so I lean into this love, allowing it to guide my way, to heal my error thinking, to bring about the peace and harmony that is at the core of my being, just waiting to be revealed. I relax into this knowing with a grateful heart, and I let go and let it be so. Please join with me in affirming. And so it is.
This week's inspiration is adapted from Howard the Thurman, Disciplines of the Spirit. Even your idea of God can become distorted when urgency or fear takes over. This is one of the central challenges in prayer. You may find yourself pleading, bargaining, or trying to convince God to close the gap between what you want and when it arrives. But this has nothing to do with the genuine integrity of prayer. It's simply the mind trying to control the interval between desire and fulfillment. Wanting that interval to be short is completely natural. Yet, part of spiritual maturity is knowing when waiting is essential to your growth. Waiting is not punishment, it's a discipline of the spirit. When you learn to wait with awareness rather than resistance, you step into one of the most meaningful ingredients of spiritual unfoldment, constructive patience. Constructive patience is not passive endurance. It is an active engagement with your life. You start by taking an honest look at your environment and the context in which you are operating. What is actually happening? What conditions or beliefs might be contributing to the delay? This kind of reflection isn't about fault, it's about clarity. When you understand the landscape of your experience, you can walk it with greater trust, openness, and alignment.
And our next song is I'm the Place Where God Shows Up by Eddie Watkins Jr. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Sing it with me, everyone, including you, Randy. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. You are the place. We are the place where God shows up. Sing, I am the place. You are the place. We are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Sing! I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. One more time, here we go. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
It's going to be one of those days, right? Okay. So, am I in choice is today's topic. Reclaiming the power to create your life. Anybody had some choices to make this week? There's always that profound thing that what you focus on grows. And of course, there were lots of decisions to be made this week, and a few that have some interesting stories behind them. I see some grins in the audience. So, one of the greatest illusions we carry is the belief that life is happening to us. We say, I had no choice. That's just how life turned out. They made me feel this way. This is just who I am. I remember a young man at a trade show that I was at. He was saying something and I said, "You make me so mad. You're so brilliant." And he said, "I don't make you anything. You choose whether you're going to be mad or not." And I remember being taken aback because I hadn't done any of these studies before, and I had never had anyone call me on what I was saying about personal responsibility. And that, I guess, started this journey. So, what if one of the greatest spiritual awakenings is realizing even when you cannot choose your circumstances, you can choose your relationship to them? Because stuff happens. It's a matter of what kind of relationship am I going to have with this thing that's happening? This doesn't mean that life is easy, because boy, sometimes the things that life throws at us are pretty challenging. And it doesn't mean that the pain's going to disappear either. And it doesn't mean that you deny the grief or the hardship that you're feeling. It's none of that. It means something inside of you remains a sacred power. And it's the power to choose your response. And that's what I'm inviting you to tenderly and compassionately remember when something's going on, is that I get to choose how this resides in me. So, and perhaps the quality of your life is shaped less by what happened to you and more by what you repeatedly choose afterwards. I mean, we can live our lives carrying that baggage of all of the stuff, or we can let it go and say, you know, there's more out here for me, and be open to that. So today I want us to sit with one profound question. Am I in choice? So I want to look at awareness of choices, about pain, and your life choices become your life. So choice begins with awareness, of course. You need to notice that you're making choices. And even not choosing, you've chosen not to choose. So most people are not consciously choosing. They're reacting. And I know I'm in reactive mode a lot of the time. They're reacting because of, we call these buttons sometimes, old wounds, conditioning, fear, habit, even inherited beliefs. And spiritual wisdom teaches that many of us are living inside stories we never consciously chose. And that's the beauty of the spiritual journey, is that I didn't choose for this life or this upbringing or any of that, but I get to choose right now who I'm going to be and how I'm going to present myself in the world. So there are stories that maybe you grew up with, like I'm not enough, or life is unfair because it always seemed to show up that way, or people always leave, or nothing ever changes. And as some of us know really deeply, Whatever you affirm becomes your reality. So after a while, these stories begin choosing for us because they become part of that unconscious, under the surface way of being, and then life shows up as a consequence of that. So awareness interrupts that automatic pattern. So the moment that you pause and ask, what am I choosing right now? Something shifts. You don't even have to choose, just saying, what am I choosing right now? You've brought the awareness to all kinds of answers to come back to you, some that you may not have even considered. That's a shift in energy, because what you've literally done is you've opened the door to the possibilities. And that pause is sacred. And what I mean by sacred is there is something divine that you've just opened yourself to, that you didn't allow in. Because unconscious reaction says, I can't. That's really what's underneath it. And conscious choice asks, what is possible here? So have you ever noticed how two people can go through the same exact experience and they come out completely differently? They even have a different attitude. They might even tell a different story of the exact same situation. One becomes bitter, and somehow the other becomes wiser. One closes down, and another becomes more compassionate. It's the same storm, but they made different choices. So as Billy Joe Armstrong once said, I think it's your own choice if you turn from an angry young bitter man, or angry young man, to a bitter old, and I won't say the rest of it because you know what that is. And it's true. We can allow things to create us to be grumpy old pusses, or hopeful, positive, and moving forward. Maybe not happy with our scars, but still moving forward, knowing that we can. We're here to do that. That quote makes me laugh, actually, because it's so painfully true. Aging itself often reveals our choices. Some people become softer with time. Some people become sharper and more guarded. You know, it's interesting, and Pat, if you're watching this, Reverend Pat Ball was here yesterday for the day we did a board retreat and board governance and that kind of thing. And she was on Zoom because she had hurt her ankle this week, and so she wasn't able to come in person. But I was observing her on the screen, and Pat is in her 80s now, and I've known her for a long time, since I first came into the ministry, which was probably 1998, so a while. She looks younger today than she did back then, because there is a softness to her, and I noticed that on the screen, and I didn't get a chance to tell her, so I'm telling you now, Pat. But you can see that on people's faces, like they wear the pain and the struggle on the outside, or they wear the relaxed and trusting on the outside. Sometimes it's energetic, but it sure does show up on the face. So life doesn't merely shape us. We participate in shaping ourselves by the choices that we make. So consciousness is not the absence of challenge. That's the thing to recognize, because everything is consciousness. And so if everything is consciousness, it means challenges are consciousness too. It's the willingness to become aware of how you are meeting the challenge. So think about a challenge that you've had this week, or a perceived challenge, or something you didn't know what the end result was going to be. How did you approach it? What's your kind of go-to way of being? The spiritual path is not, can I control life? It's, can I remain awake enough to choose who I become through life? And I know as I'm quickly approaching the other end of life, which, you know, I'm way past the middle, I think. But, you know, if I'm not, boy, I'm going to be old when I get there. But I think about the choices that I made, and I made the best choices that I could in the situation and with what I knew. And I'm making different choices today. And I hope that on that last day or two, that I can look back and say, yeah, I'm okay. I am who I am because of the choices that I made, and I made the best choices that I could with what I knew, and I didn't know what I didn't know, and now I know what I didn't know, or I think I know what I didn't know. But do you see what I mean? So let's look at pain. Pain actually doesn't remove choice. And yet, have you ever thought of that? Because you still have choice even when you're in pain. Now, this is important because sometimes spiritual teachings can actually sound simplistic. There are moments in life that devastate us, like grief and loss and illness and betrayal and fear. There's a story of Carla that her 4.5 or 5-year-old son was tragically killed. He was hit by a car. And what's remarkable is not that she avoided grief, that she entered it. She decided to embrace it in the ways that she knew how. She became a woman who, for all intents and purposes, guided recovery groups from people who had lost someone that was really horrible. And it allowed for her to speak to it with an audience that understood how she felt and what she was going through. And she made a difference in lots of people's lives. And she could have chosen differently. She could have chosen to be in that dark place and that wondering place of why did this happen? But she chose not to. She allowed herself to feel it and to examine it and to grow through it. And eventually that pain actually became part of her purpose. That's spiritual courage. And I'm sure there's something in you that has experienced that too, in some way or another. Maybe not as dramatic as a death, but something. Because real choice is not pretending that pain doesn't exist. Real choice is asking, what now? Because I get to choose. Choice is not denying an emotion or bypassing grief or forcing positivity. Though, have you ever tried that? I noticed Emilio has a little bit of body pain this week because he's packing because they're renovating the house. And so he's limping when he's off camera, but when he comes on stage, it's like he's okay. And I mean, and we can do that, but only for so long. And then it's to recognize, what is going on and how do I want to move from here? See, I gave away your secrets. Choice is remaining present, and it's remaining conscious and refusing to surrender your soul to bitterness. And I don't know about you, and maybe you find this too, Emilio, is that when I'm in pain, if I'm engaged in something, I don't even notice that I have the pain. It's gone somewhere. I don't know where it goes, but it's like I can just flip the switch and choose to just be. Some people have every reason to become angry and hardened, and yet they still choose love. And that's mastery. Sometimes we think being spiritual means floating through life peacefully. Soft music plays in the background. We have our flowing robes and the wind is gently blowing through our hair. But that's not real life. Meanwhile, someone cuts us off in traffic and suddenly our inner Buddha becomes a UFC fighter. So much for the flowing robes, but it's true. And it reveals what we've got going on inside. That's when the real spiritual practice actually begins. There's one of my mentors said, you're asking for world peace, but you can't even keep your mouth shut on the 401 when somebody cuts you off. So you gotta kind of, So it's not theory, it's in your reaction. The moment that you believe I have no choice, you hand away your power. When blame takes over, when everything becomes they, them, their fault, we stop choosing and start reacting. So blame feels powerful for a moment. I mean, it really does. But ultimately, I don't know about you, but I'm left kind of like kerplunk. Spiritual wisdom asks, what is mine to choose right now? My son was telling me one time when he was driving, and he was maybe 17 or 18, and he used to drive to Pickering because that's where his dad lived from Kitchener, so it was quite a distance on the 401. And he said, if I wanted to get in front of some cars and it was really busy traffic, if I slowly eased my way in front of somebody that had a really expensive car, they would slow down. But the cheaper cars, they wouldn't. So he learned really quickly by choice, choose the Jaguar to go in front of because he'll always give you room because they're more protective. You know, so there's always a choice no matter what you're doing. So most futures are not created in one dramatic moment. I mean, our futures are not created just because, you know, we had the cosmic 2x4 or the cosmic, what could you call a good thing? Cosmic hallelujah. They're created quietly through our daily habits, our repeated thoughts, our small decisions, our emotional patterns, and our ordinary everyday responses to things. And life is being shaped right now by what you're repeatedly choosing. And that's why there are some people that you can meet that seem to have the same kind of things going on all of the time, because that's the choices that are being made. They're repetitive choices. And if their life is really good, it's because those same good thoughts and expectations are happening as well. So there are no mistakes in life, just lessons. And that's liberating. Because I can say, well, you know, just like with any lesson that you take it at the level that you want to take it at. Rather than like, oh, you know, there I go again, made another mistake. Because it means you're not trapped by your past choices. You really are not. You can choose again. You can say, oh, well, I was such an idiot before. And maybe you were. Or maybe you made a rash decision. Or maybe you didn't know what you know now. You are one new choice away from a new direction. There's a couple of people in this room who made a choice and they're moving in a new direction. We'll hear a little more about that in a little while. What if your next choice changed your future? What if? And for the better. I'll add that to it. So what if your next thought softened your heart? And what if your next act of courage opened a new life? So what's been tickling at you to try that's maybe a little risky? Sometimes transformation doesn't arrive as lightning. Most of the time, actually, it doesn't. I prefer it that way, slow and easy. I used to when I was first learning how to do spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer. I would always add to it what's right and perfect for me, comfortably, easily. None of this cosmic divine 2x4 train. Sometimes it arrives quietly as maybe a boundary or as a forgiveness or as a risk that you're willing to take or a truth spoken honestly. We had such a wonderful team experience as a board yesterday, for those of you that are on the board, where we spoke really honestly and we became even more connected than we had been before. And that's how life shows up. It presents us with opportunities to be as real as you can be and trust that the outcome is going to be even better for you. So sometimes it arrives as a decision to begin again. Anybody begin again? Sometimes 100 times. So how many people postpone their own aliveness? And what do I mean by that? Too afraid to try it because just in case, what if it goes wrong? But what if it goes right? So are you waiting for confidence? For permission? for certainty, for someday. Meanwhile, life is asking, will you choose now, please? The question is not, will life happen? Because it will. The question is, who will I choose to become through it? You may not control every circumstance, every loss, every outcome. And you can't. You can try, but you still possess the sacred creative power of choice. And choice is the word I want you to take away today. Everything that you do is a choice. Even not choosing is a choice. And perhaps freedom begins the moment that you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And ask, how shall I meet this moment? Because boy, there are some times where that question isn't the first thing that comes to mind. And yet it's the healthiest question to come to mind. Because every day, through thought, through attitude, through response, through your courage, you're participating in the creation of your life. And what you're experiencing today is as a consequence of the things that you thought yesterday and the day before. So what are you thinking today for your tomorrow? So maybe the real spiritual question is not, am I powerful? But am I awake enough to remember that I'm in choice? And that choice has consequences. So if you choose, read along with me this spiritual mind treatment just to anchor this. I recognize the presence of divine wisdom alive within me now. I remember that the spiritual power within my soul is greater than any circumstance. I choose awareness over reaction, love over fear, possibility over limitation. I trust that each new moment offers a new beginning. I release blame. I release old stories. I release the belief that I am powerless. I consciously create a life rooted in truth, compassion, courage, and freedom. And so I move forward, awake, present, and fully in choice. And for this I give thanks, knowing it is already in motion in my life. And so it is. And so it is. So we looked at being aware that you're choosing, maybe unconsciously, that you can still choose even if you're in pain, and that your choices become your life. So now I want to know, what did that stir up in you? What buttons did it press for you? Shall we start with you, Marcia, since you have a microphone?
May? I'm still on when your inner Buddha becomes a UFC fighter.
Yeah. Yes, you can relate.
Absolutely. But so I'm taking away, am I in choice? Really? I think I spend a lot of time in reactive mode. And then sometimes I can choose outright, but other times I react first and then I go, I should have made a better choice. And I'm also taking away possibility to choose possibility over limitation, because I got the limitation part down pat.
Yeah. Yeah, so work on the other one instead.
Yes. It feels much better, actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Deborah?
Yes, it's my turn. In my story, I didn't get a 2x4, but I did get this. So it's all about a $37 steak. Is anybody interested now? I have a friend of mine, and his daughter, she's in her 20s, was coming for dinner. A week before, he's been telling me about it. She's coming Saturday. She's coming Saturday. It's for the whole week I've heard this. And her boyfriend might be coming. The day arrives, and I called him, and I said, well, how are you making out? And he said, you know how much the steak was? It was $37. And he must have told me like 6 times. And I'm like, was that really the point? I mean, aren't you excited that she's coming? Aren't you excited that she's talking about her future with you? Aren't you excited that you're spending time with her? Yes. Can you afford the $37? Sure. And are you going to remember next week? Because if you are, I'm going to tell you to forget about it. But we get caught up in the wrong things, right? I mean, and at the end of the day, I almost wanted to say to him, if $37 is too much, have burgers. Right? I mean,
Exactly.
just start thinking about the good things, not the challenges. But I was, like I said, he must have told me about 3 or 4 times. That's why I remembered it. And I thought, well, not a cosmic 2x4, but certainly a time to check your awareness, think about what's really important. And you know what? The memories that you're making are way more invested in $37.
Yes.
So that was my spin.
Perspective is everything,
Well,
isn't it?
I know. And that's exactly what he said to me afterwards. It's like, oh, I never thought of that. Well, aren't you glad you called me? Anyways, that was my moment, but it wasn't a 2x4. It was a $37 steak.
Anyone else have something to share? Bruce has and Diane has. Folks from home too. Good.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your lesson today. What hit me was that life is always moving, and what you're working on to make your life move, that's what hit me today. Anyway, I went to see my ophthalmologist a couple of weeks ago, and I have 2 different types of eye drops, and I ran out the day before I went to see the ophthalmologist. So I went in, and I sat there. He's usually a pretty friendly guy. I've known him for. So he starts berating me, like he's going, "You didn't get these eye drops in. What's wrong with you?" And I'm trying to explain they got screwed up in prescriptions, all that stuff. He goes on and on and on. I said, "Doc, what do you want me to do? Shake the pharmacist by the white coat till he gives me some?" I said, "I don't have any to put in my eyes. You're telling me to put them in my eyes." So I go, just going, well. So what the realization was that people have been trying to control me all my whole life like that. I realized I've risen above it.
You sure did.
Type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because one time I'd be afraid of authority figures. This doctor will take up my left eye if I say too much,
Yes.
or maybe he'll make my other one yellow or something, so I would never say anything,
Yeah.
But now I don't. I just defend myself.
Doesn't it feel good to recognize where you've come from, where you've been through the choices?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. People at home? You go first. Maybe something else.
Oh, sorry. My mother was Carla, right? She lost a child and she dedicated the rest of her life to other children, became Woman of the Year, and helped a lot of children through their lives and problems. And a girl once said to me, young lady, at the elevator, and I don't even remember her name. She had an abusive husband, and now he was sick and he was dying. And she told me she was taking care of him. I said, "Are you nuts? Are you crazy? Like, this guy, he battered you, And she says, "Well, I'm not him." So I live by that now. And, I came from kind of her story, and I'm not him.
Mhm.
So I am me, and I made that big choice, and it was a good choice. So now when I'm out there, I refuse to be like that. However, we do slip, because yesterday a guy cut me off.
Your inner Buddha wasn't there?
No, it was. And I said, "Oh, well, okay, calm down." Normally there'd be horn honking and everything else and names called. And I said, "Well, maybe he has an emergency, And I'm thinking, I don't know what he's got on, where he's running to, until he made a left-hand signal and he was going to Walmart like I was. And I said, "Okay, so much for the emergency." And he had his windows down because it was a nice day, and I couldn't resist. And I yelled out my window, "A-hole." Knee-jerk reaction, but I still have to work on that.
That was
And unfortunately, there was a lady standing there at her car, and I hope she didn't think I was calling her one. But anyway, I think the shoe fit, and he kind of knew that I caught up with him, and I gave him the horn, and he said, "Ah." But
I hear that temporary relief that you got.
yeah, and I have to be honest with you, it did feel good because I probably needed to release it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, life presents us with those opportunities because we do carry around stuff that we don't let out. And it may not be the person that is in front of us that caused the initial whatever it is that's inside. And it's to see and to say, oh, yeah, I've got some stuff going on inside of me that I've been hanging on to. And it feels so much better now that I let it out. Yeah. And you didn't. Oh, good for you.
My grandsons would have piped up from the back seat. That's a bad word. Not that I've had any experience at that. And $37 steak doesn't sound that bad these days. Has he been grocery shopping lately?
Yeah.
The other day I was looking at the sauce, spaghetti sauce. It comes in a jar that's like a half a cup now. It's craziness, but whatever. Okay, so from home, Agnes says, I have a situation that is coming in the future. It is scaring me, but I will go ahead with it. And my question now will be, how shall I meet this moment? I think that's very good.
Excellent.
Yeah. And Pat had a message for you earlier on. She said, did you realize that you are euthaning too? I like that, euthaning.
Oh, I like that word, euthaning. Thank you, Pat. And Emilio, did you want to share something? No?
Not really, no. Actually, all right, I will. Okay, if we have time.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So I noticed, I mean, we are renovating, and I have very controlling siblings. And I don't know, I feel sometimes diminished by their nagging. And you know, God bless, but I mean, I react and I yell back. And
And it feels good in the moment.
it feels good in the moment, but it's not really what I want to do.
No.
I want to make a different choice. But I think they're the greatest teachers, you know, because I'm only as good as I'm able to meet the moment in a different way, and I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, family, and because it's Mother's Day, I mean, it brings up a lot of stuff, but family really are some of our greatest spiritual teachers.
Yeah.
Because it's giving us a chance to choose how we respond to things.
Yeah.
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 I remember going to my spiritual counselor at the time, and both my mother and sister were actually being quite mean to me in emails. And I went to her like, woe is me, you know, I'm the victim here. Look at these awful things that they're saying, and I wish they would behave differently. And she said, do you realize that you're wishing that they would behave differently, and they're wishing that you would behave differently? Do you see the mirror there? And I remember thinking, you're supposed to be helping me feel better. And all of a sudden I feel responsible. And I was totally in how I was choosing to respond to that situation. So is anything come up that you would like to share that you're grateful for about family, or about your mothers, or mothering your own life? I'd love to.
I'm
We've
just
got a couple
happy
of
that
minutes.
my mother is still alive, and
Yeah.
she's having fun. You know, I told her, you know, I want you to live a long, happy life. Stay with me so I can stay in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, it's motivating her, I think. I hope, I pray.
Diane has something else to share.
Sure.
Yes, the
They
people
can't
at home
hear you.
won't hear you if you don't use the microphone.
Wait a minute.
Hi,
Yes.
is it on?
Yes.
Okay. So you said earlier about you're far beyond that midpoint in life or whatever. And I remember past sessions where you said about Helen, my mother.
Yeah.
And you said, Helen, I want to be a Helen, like, and live Helen's years. And Helen
Yes.
lived to be 98. Well, you're on your way, you know, but just remember Helen, you know, like she's an inspiration to not the good do die old. It's not all the good die young.
Yeah, and it's the choices that we're making, and it's much deeper than the things that are on the surface. And it's to say, what is it that I really believe about where I'm at in life? Where do I plan to be if I continue on this path?
I just want to say I also spent yesterday in ICU over in Burlington. And as I walked by a lot of the windows, I could hardly bear to look at the people hooked up to what they're hooked up to. And then I saw my friend who I went to see, my friend's sister, and she's perky all up in the bed and everything else. And she's gone through awful stuff, but it's a matter of attitude, you know. And
Yes.
they're all surrounded around her because she makes them happy. The others can't even fend for themselves, unfortunately, you know. And it does make a difference when you bite the bullet, and even if you are hurting physically, that you put that face on and people, you know, show people that you're still happy.
Yes. Well, I remember a friend of mine who was on his deathbed, and he was always quite a woman's man, you know, and he was still flirting even when he knew he may only have a couple of hours left. And that was the attitude that he lived his life. And so may we take that and move forward with that idea that you have a choice. So you can join to continue this conversation via Zoom. Our friends from York Region hold a Zoom call from 11:30 to 12, and the Zoom link is in the description box below.
Good moment. Let's turn our attention to conscious giving. And you may do so 3 ways. Here in the sanctuary, by e-transfer to admin@unityspiritualcenter.com, or by checks payable to Unity Spiritual Center. And everything you give to us allows us to provide the services that we do every week. So let's say this affirmation together as we receive the gifts. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all I give and all I receive, and so it is.
This is one of my favorite songs. Yes, one of my favorite songs. Happy Mother's Day, Daddy. I'm grateful to have learned the truth. I've listened to the words my heart has spoken. Divinely blessed and guided, I no longer search fulfillment from excuses with no purpose. I am free from all the shackles that surround me. Free to choose to give my life new meaning. Free to change, to love and fold my destiny. I am free. I lift the veils that shadowed me. I see the love and beauty that abounds me. No longer cling to thoughts I thought protected me. I braved it all, and now I live with purpose. I am free from all the shackles that surround me. Free to choose to give my life new meaning. Free to change, to love and fold my destiny. I am free. I bless my past mistakes. Bless Bless all the scars they made. I bless them all, the lessons learned. They brought me where I am today. I am free from all the shackles that surround me. Free to choose to give my life new meaning. Free to change, to love and fold my destiny. I am free from all the shackles that surround me. Free to choose to give my life new meaning. Free to change, to love and fold my destiny. I am free.
Oh, beautiful. And I bet you didn't feel a single bit of pain while you were singing.
As soon as I walked.
Yeah, that's the thing, as soon as you walked. Okay, so next week is the third Sunday of the month. And on the third Sunday of every month from now until we feel that it's no longer necessary, we are going to be doing the Great Peace Experiment. Now, what that is the idea that even a small group of people for a small amount of time, as we become the peace that we wish to see in the world, that we transform the world through the energy of who we are. And so it'll be a very different experience. I think you'll really enjoy it. And it will begin with something from 10 to 10:30 to kind of set you up for peace. And then an hour of a very interesting Great Peace Experiment service. And so I hope that you join in. And we'd love to get your feedback because this is something that is an evolving process. I'd like to make it as wonderful an experience for those of you at home as it is for those of us here in person. And so as you join in next week, I invite you to please send us comments and feedback on how the experience was and how we might even make it better for you. And even for those of you here, though I know that you're going to feel it, but can we do anything to make you feel it and be the peace even more? So thanks very much. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. And before you all get up, Tim has something to share.